178. Rolling on the way we know how in Manchester. With the Raw review.
Do we know how to in Manchester?
Yeah.
I guess we have in Manchester before.
Yeah. We've rolled on in Manchester.
I mean, we've never been to Manchester.
Speak for yourself.
Have you been to Manchester?
Maybe.
That's a lie.
Information redacted.
Anyway, Raw was in Manchester.
Yeah, and it was better than America. Raw.
Well.
For the most part.
Yeah. For the most part.
They did a good job.
Yeah, no, it was a great show.
It was fun.
And the crowd was into it the whole time, but usually the UK crowd is usually very into the shows, whether it's positive or negative. But we open up with Miz TV. Miz having obviously some comments towards Baron Corbin due to his newest tirade on Twitter. I haven't seen any of the Baron Corbin videos. I've just seen Miz's responses.
Because guaranteeing you right now, Miz's responses are way better than Baron Corbin's videos.
That's obvious. Unless Baron Corbin's like reading something that somebody wrote for him, that might be pretty good. But Miz just goes on another tirade, runs down Baron Corbin, and addresses the fact that he wants to beat the hell out of him at Survivor Series. But the business at hand is that his guest on Miz TV is the general manager of Monday Night Raw, that being Kurt Angle.
And then he starts running down Kurt Angle.
Yeah, because, Kurt Angle,
He thinks that Kurt Angle, he's got some sort of like conspiracy theory that Kurt Angle's in charge of all the big guys on Raw attacking people.
Yes.
So next week, I think Miz is going to, try and blame Kurt for later on in the show when Braun and Kane start fighting each other.
Oh.
He's just purposely set them against each other.
Interesting idea. Yeah.
Not really, but just the way Miz is going.
He blames Kurt for the attack on Daniel Bryan.
And the fact that Braun Strowman showed up and tried to kill the Miz.
Yes. Kurt said, I had nothing to do with the attack on Daniel. I apologize to Daniel. We actually see him call Daniel later and leave a message on his phone trying to apologize for the whole situation.
Too bad he's dead.
And Miz can't understand why, after Braun Strowman attacked him and Bo and did everything he did to Curtis is in a neck brace tonight, why Braun Strowman was given a spot on Team Raw. Like, why was he rewarded for this attack?
Because Kurt was there at the pay-per-view and watched Braun Strowman fight all 4 members of his own team.
Yeah.
And was like...
And almost win.
And if Braun could do that, I want him on my Survivor Series
team. It took a garbage truck to beat Braun Strowman.
Yeah. 4 men and a garbage truck.
That's a sitcom.
And, a huge pile of chairs.
Yes, that too.
A chokeslam off the stage.
Yeah. It took a lot. And so Kurt played the smart card by putting Braun Strowman on his team.
Yeah.
And he said, he negotiated, and all I had to do was agree to one thing, and that was to give him a match against you tonight. And Miz goes, please, no. Please, Kurt. And it didn't happen. We ended up having that match later on. But we also had Jason Jordan versus Elias Sampson in a guitar on a pole match, because that's the logical way to take this feud.
Gotta push it up.
I mean, my ghost is back. It was an object on a pole match. I mean, I do have to say, Jason Jordan went on a real nice tirade of just throwing Elias Sampson around, which was cool. But yeah, it was a guitar pole on a pole match. That's redundant.
We're gonna call it the Jeff Jarrett special.
Yes. Elias Sampson did end up getting the guitar down, but it was in the end used by Jason Jordan, giving Jason Jordan the win. And we'll skip ahead on this one because apparently that was enough, as well as his impressive losses.
Yeah. Here's the thing too, because I mean, this does tie into something else that happened.
Yeah.
So let's zigzag.
You want to move along?
Zigzag to what was supposed to be Titus ONeil versus Samoa Joe.
Yeah, Titus wanted a match against Joe after the attack on him after his match with Cruz last week.
Yeah, which turned into Samoa Joe throwing Apollo Crews off the stage, choking out Titus ONeil, and then having a match against Finn Balor.
Yeah, Finn Balor is apparently the new guy who just goes out and challenges people when they're like, hey, I want a match, and Finn's like, okay.
Yeah.
Finn's cool with fighting whoever.
He just sits there because he's just like.
They can't find a spot for me on Raw, so I'm just gonna wait for somebody else to open a spot for me.
Yeah, he's just gonna be like Finn waits for any time where somebody's in the ring by themselves so he can run out and have a match with them.
Yeah. So
it'll be like one of these days, just like I don't know, Nia Jax is in the ring cutting a promo and Finn's gonna run out and start fighting Naya. No, so they fight. They have a double count out.
Yeah.
Good,
fantastic match. Possibly best match of the night. The main event did give it a little bit of a run for its money. But yeah, no. Finn versus Joe, always good. We've had the pleasure of seeing that live, which was fantastic. But yeah, due to the double countout, but the tenacity of both guys.
Because they just kept fighting afterwards.
Yeah, it was. We had referees, we had security guards, everyone trying to break everybody up.
Reigniting their NXT feud.
Yeah. And so that's the type of attitude that Kurt wants on his Survivor Series team. So he gives the 3rd and 4th spots to Joe and Finn, and then the 5th and final spot to Jason Jordan.
Fast forward to give the spot to Jason Jordan, and this was Kurt playing his intelligence eye.
Okay.
Because he used this exact phrase as, I need somebody on Team Raw that I can trust.
That's true.
Because he can't trust Braun Strowman as far as he can throw him, which isn't very far.
It's about half an inch.
And you can't trust, at this point now, Finn Balor and Samoa Joe
they don't like each other.
To stay cohesive.
No.
That's the upside, despite the fact that, the 5th member of Team Smackdown hasn't been decided yet, but that Randy Orton and Nakamura have been teaming just fine for a couple different times over the past month.
Yeah.
And Bobby Roode doesn't have a beef with either of those guys. And
Shane is cool with pretty much everyone on the roster, except for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Yeah. So yeah, an interesting combination of guys for the 5 on Team Raw. And now we know that...
I mean, the Strowman, Finn, and Joe part is a good rival to Randy, Bobby Roode, and Nakamura.
Oh, absolutely. It's very evenly matched, but now, it's a question of which team is going to get along better, which team's going to have a stronger leader. And we now kind of have a little wrench going into SmackDown because AJ's been removed from his match against Rusev to determine the 5th member of SmackDown because he's going to be facing Jinder Mahal for the championship.
Yeah.
So now we potentially just... I have a feeling...
I'm all for, trying to win the championship, but he has to also realize that in, 2 weeks, that means Lesnar is the one that you'd have to face in the next pay-per-view. And if I was AJ, I'd just be like, oh, wait.
Give me Jinder after.
Oh, wait. You can pick him now? I'll take you after Survivor Series? Okay.
But yeah, I mean, now I have a feeling we're going to get Rusev coming out and saying, well, I guess that just means I get the spot, and then...
Battle Royale.
Then, I think Rusev will have to go against somebody. I don't know who it'll be. Ty Dillinger, or...
Making a prediction. Double turn. Rusev going face, Ty Dillinger going heel.
Why would Ty Dillinger go heel?
I don't know.
I don't want Ty Dillinger to go heel, though. Don't do that. Anyway. So now we know almost the entirety of the men's Survivor Series team. We actually got a little bit more of the women's Survivor Series team because we had Asuka destroy Stacey Coates. Yeah. Couldn't remember her name. She wasn't on TV long enough.
Stacey Coates has got it going goats.
Good callback to 2006? 2005?
Closer to 4 or 5. Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, that song hung around for a few years.
That's true. It was. I knew it was while we were in high school. So, but anyway, Asuka beat Stacey Coates because no one knows who she is, and that was enough for Alicia Fox to. Well, of course, Alicia was going to do it anyway if she was smart. Put Asuka on Team Raw for the women's Survivor Series.
So that's all she really needs. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Asuka.
Yeah, she doesn't need any more.
Everyone else is just decorations on a cake. Yeah.
But we'll skip ahead just because it's connected. We had Bailey and Sasha both saying, well, hey, Bailey led Team Raw last year to a win at Survivor Series. Yeah. And Sasha is a 4-time women's champion, so it only makes sense that they should be on the Survivor Series team. So they have one last chance to impress Alicia by having the traditional tag team match that they've been doing this tag team match 1,000 times now. Sasha and Bailey versus Naya and Alicia. Sasha and Bailey do end up picking up the win after Sasha and Bailey are able to get Naya over the top rope and knock her to the floor. Alicia attempts an O'Connor roll, which gets kicked out of and turned into the bank statement. Alicia taps out and adds Sasha to Team Raw.
Because Sasha won the match.
But not Bailey. So Bailey's left going, well, what does that mean for me? Nobody knows.
Means vote for Paige.
I thought Paige was coming back to SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, it's rumors.
That's true.
But at this point, it would be a good swerve.
You can always go with him. Never mind.
And Mickey James?
Yeah, Mickey James. Or Dana Brooke. That's not gonna happen.
Their fifth member is just a gif of Dana Brooke running away.
Oh God, she just runs away. She runs away from Team SmackDown. So now we have the full SmackDown women's side, but only 4 out of 5 on the Raw side. So the opposite of the men's team. All right. Let's see. All right, so we'll go to the Miz's match against Braun Strowman. This was just playtime for Braun Strowman.
You mean the Miz's attempt at surviving Braun Strowman?
This was the Miz and the Entourage's attempt at surviving Braun Strowman.
Yeah, because the Entourage, not intentionally, but ended up in the pathway of Braun Strowman anyways.
Yeah, like they tried to like...
Braun's got a big pathway.
The whole outside area is a pathway for Braun Strowman. They tried to get involved at the beginning, trying to give Miz a little bit of a...
Didn't work.
Yeah, it did not work at all. But essentially, we got about 5 or 6 minutes of just Braun Strowman throwing all 3 of these guys around. To which, at one point, he had the Miz in the ring and then hucked the Miz over the top rope onto both Bo and Curtis Axel after dealing with Bo and Curtis Axel on their own. So the whole entourage is just on the ground on the outside. And Braun's just standing in the ring like, well, now what do I do? And this is where we got Kane.
Yeah.
Kane decides, well, if there's ever an opportunity to prove to Braun that he is a monster, this was it. So he goes down. Him and Braun kind of like stare each other down a little bit, have a little bit of war words, and then they start fighting. During the fighting, which Braun actually does pretty well against Kane.
Yeah.
Drops him with a power slam. Kane ends up sitting back up. But Braun then does get jumped by the entourage again. And it's a constant beatdown on Braun Strowman that Braun Strowman still wins.
Yeah.
Because Braun Strowman. So, yeah.
Yeah. He gained like 8,000 like endurance for the limo run. That gave him so much more like dexterity and athleticism and like.
Was that like a feat that he gained after he ran across the dainty little run?
He leveled up so many times.
He can outlast Kane, The Miz, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel.
Well, I mean, it was already shown that he could outlast Kane, The Miz, and The Bar.
That's true. When you downgrade The Bar to Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, no offense, I like both of you guys, but you're not Cesaro and Sheamus. Yeah. Speaking of which, Cesaro and Sheamus did weasel themselves into a tag team title match, which ended up being our main event.
Yeah, but essentially their argument was, we have a better shot at beating the Usos at Survivor Series than the Shield does.
Yeah, throwing it at Kurt like, well, you've made Alexa Bliss and The Miz defend their titles, but you haven't made the Shield do it.
And Kurt's like, okay, you got it, but it's your last shot.
Yeah. That's our main event. Before we got to the main event, we had a segment with a bunch of miscues. The biggest miscue being the fact that Enzo came out and talked. They had to play his music. They had to let him talk for a really long time.
Then Kalisto came out. It didn't really do anything.
No,
he came out, he did his entrance, and then he got out the other side of the ring and sat down in a chair.
Which left Enzo going, what's going on? It left a lot of us going, what the fuck's happening? Then...
It's because they realized that Kalisto's not that great of a talker, so they opted to not have him on commentary.
It was probably a good idea. Plus, he needed that weird-ass ringside seat that there isn't an actual seating area for. He just sat in a steel chair.
He should have got a rolly chair.
Because...
Neville got a rolly chair.
Meh.
New Day gets beanbag chairs.
I think those are just the New Day's beanbag chairs. They travel with those things.
Why not?
But no, instead of Kalisto, obviously wanting to get his hands on Enzo, instead of that happening, Kurt Angle had a different plan because...
He came out to Pete Dunne's music.
Like we said, weird miscues.
Because pretty sure Kurt was supposed to come out by himself first.
Yeah, but instead we got music that I didn't recognize right off the bat. But the whole crowd was excited when the word Bruiserweight came across the screen.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle came out and let us know, in fact, that Pete Dunne would be on Monday Night Raw. He would face the Cruiserweight champion.
Bruiserweight versus Cruiserweight.
Yes.
UK champion versus the Cruiserweight champion.
And boy, was it fun watching Pete Dunne beat the shit out of Enzo Amore.
Yeah.
Enzo did get a couple of moves in.
Tried to win.
He tried to win.
His feet on the ropes.
And that's how Kalisto got involved.
Hey, look.
He got the ref's attention and pointed at it. And Booker's like, what the hell, ref? Why are you doing that? And Corey's like, the ref did his job. Booker is still on Enzo's side for some reason. But yeah, that did not...
Because no one else will be.
That's true. Only Booker is... Well, no, there's still a lot of people that like Enzo. Stop liking Enzo.
Well, there's a lot of people that like his thing, his shtick.
Yeah, that's the one thing. He needs to stop doing that. Yeah. If they want him to...
No, because here's the thing. It's a merch thing, because any of that shtick that he says they can put on a t-shirt and it'll sell.
True.
Because it's the same shtick they did with the New Age Outlaws. New Age Outlaws, face or heel, always got to do their shtick.
That's true. Alright, that's fair enough.
WWE, for the desperate reasons, I would have no idea why, need a sing-along person for the crowd to be able to do shtick with.
Bring back R-Truth.
Yeah, do it.
But Pete Dunne did, in fact, defeat Enzo Amore.
I mean, Adam Blampier is not on the internet anymore to complain about R-Truth,
That's
the worst person in the world, in his opinion.
But yeah, Pete Dunne hit the bitter end, defeated Enzo Amore, and Kalisto just laughed at him.
They got in the ring and clapped.
Yep. Then we had our main event, The Bar, challenging the Shield for the Raw Tag Team titles. And like we said, this match gave Finn versus Joe a run for its fucking
Absolutely.
money. Because the Shield, I mean, just these two being back together as a tag team is so fresh for both of these guys. They get to exercise a lot more versatility, being able to work off of each other. And Sheamus and Cesaro have become a fantastic team in their own right over about a year or so they've been teaming up now?
Oh, has it been that long?
I'm pretty sure it's been about that long.
Wow.
If it hasn't been a year, it's coming up on it.
Yeah. Foley was still general manager.
Yeah. Which I think Survivor Series was about the end of his run.
Yeah. I don't remember. Yeah, no. I like the cohesiveness that Ambrose and Rollins show because they weren't the team in the Shield.
No, it was
Rollins and Ambrose. Yeah. Or no. Rollins and Reigns.
Rollins and Reigns.
Because Ambrose was the one that went off into the singles title
first. He had the U.S. title. So
which he didn't defend often.
No. He was in the Shield. He didn't have to. Plus, they didn't know what the fuck to do with the United States title.
No, not for a long ass time.
They still don't know what to do with it because it's on Baron Corbin.
Sad day.
But regardless, these two teams went out there, fucking killed it. Awesome spots, some great false finishes all the way through.
Sin Cara needs to be the next guy on Team Smackdown.
I think he needs to be the new United States champion. I'd rather watch Sin Cara versus The Miz. I think we've seen that before.
Probably.
probably a decent match. But anyway, yeah, both teams going at it, stopping each other from different finishers, stopping each other from double teams.
Really close near fall.
Yeah.
When
holy shit.
The Shield did a Dirty Deeds frog splash combo
onto Sheamus.
And Cesaro like parkoured into the ring and bulldog headbutted Rollins onto Ambrose.
It was
all became a dog pile.
Yeah, because like just before the Dirty Deeds happened, Seth clotheslined Cesaro out of the ring. Now I thought for sure as soon as Seth hit that frog splash, it was done. But yeah, Cesaro fucking lightning quick, knocking him off, getting right back in there, and it was about this time that things started to settle down. You know, the crowd's going nuts. Both teams are kind of like even keel at this point. And then the New Day made their way out
to Manchester.
Don't you dare be sour. They ended up being up in the same area where the Siege first came down.
The Shield, they were Shield entrance.
Yeah, they were. They cut a quick promo and
essentially we're like, hey, Under Siege Part 2.
Yeah, they incited a little bit of chaos.
My favorite reaction was Cesaro, who was on the outside, and they say like Under Siege Part 2, and he just starts going.
Cesaro and Ambrose both were like, they were on the outside while Sheamus and Rollins were still in there, and like, yeah, Cesaro like starts freaking out, and Dean's like looking around. He's like looking over the barricade and stuff. He's like trying to make sure there's no one sneaking through, because so he says they say Under Siege Part 2. Everyone's like looking around waiting for SmackDown to just start swarming ringside.
And Kurt comes out with the rest of the Raw roster. They surround the ring.
With, of course, right in front, Carl fucking Anderson.
He's the first one to jump to a fight.
If there's a fight, you can bet your ass Carl Anderson's going to be there.
Yeah, but you know who else was side by side with him? Luke Gallows and Finn Balor.
Too sweet. So the entire Raw roster makes their way down. They all kind of circle up the ring. They even start to head into the crowd, to which the New Day are like, all right, well, we're done here. Yeah. And New Day starts taking off. And as the Raw roster is starting to like funnel its way through to try and go after the New Day, Sheamus takes advantage of this, bro kicks the face, goes for the pin, and Cesaro's able to stop Dean Ambrose from getting into the ring, and the Bar are now 3-time tag team champions. So now the Bar will head to Survivor Series to face the Usos, which is going to be hard-hitting as fuck.
Yeah.
And now that the New Day...
Expect Sheamus to eat like 14 super kicks.
It's gonna be rough. But now the New Day have cost the Shield the tag team titles, and Roman Reigns will indeed make his return to Monday Night Raw next week. So you can pretty much guess how this is gonna end up going.
Yeah.
And yeah, first time ever, New Day versus the Shield. I'm kind of into it.
Yeah.
It's a good addition to.
Better than the Bludgeon Brothers.
Oh, they'll be there. Don't worry.
Dear God, no.
They're gonna be the reason the New Day loses.
Ugh.
That's a bold prediction. I don't think it's actually gonna happen.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Don't do that on the predictions.
We'll find out next week. But for now, guys. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Click the links down below.
There's so many.
Like a podcast.
That's the SoundCloud.
And Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
It's reasonable the goddamn W. Like wrestling.
He's so aggressive.
I don't know.
Go check out Reasonable Wrestling Fans because we have a brand new unboxing video over there. And of course, stay on this
Maybe
shirt.
Jonah Ryan's in it.
Yeah. And so is this shirt. This Adam Cole baby shirt. Check out that stuff. Check out the podcast. Stay on this channel because we've got a few more videos coming up. We got Smackdown. 205 Live is going to have the UK Championship guys showing up.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. And then, of course, we have NXT on Wednesday. So, for now, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Fuck Enzo!
I like that ghost.
Yeah, good ghost.